今日こそお前の息の根が止まる日だ。サイヤ人よ。
One of the best arcs in the whole Dragon Ball franchise, and it is talked with passion by fans even after finishing months ago. Hello guys, it's Lakwanda19 here, and today we are going to go in depth for the Goku Black arc, or more exactly said, Goku Black as a character itself. When we first learned about Goku Black was a week before he actually appeared, with Toei making their biggest mistake revealing him before he actually showed up. For some of you, Goku Black was not spoiled. If you avoided the spoilers, you were really lucky, but definitely for most of the fans it was spoiled. And that's where the theories and discussions began, since everyone was coming up with different ideas about this evil Goku, but also the fact that many people suspected it to be Goten. Since both Goku and Goten were not part of future Trunks timeline, that gave people a full freedom to theorize if that was Goku or Goten. The moment we got introduced to Goku Black, you immediately felt inside that this arc that has just begun is going to be one of the best that we have seen. Goku's Black first appearance just immediately left that feeling with us. A devilish character who has no mercy, with simply one goal: to erase the humanity. And he does use that sentence quite a lot on this arc. And even up to this date, I still have mixed feelings for this character. Do I love him or do I hate him? I definitely attached my feelings toward this character, who was something that I believe most of the Dragon Ball fans wanted to see, an evil Goku. Despite not being Goku itself, it was still his face and his body, even had some of his techniques. So I was able to witness an evil Goku at the end of the day. That's how I count it. But you guys were not on this video because of this. So let's go through Goku's Black story, since he first was Zamasu. Who was he? What did he do? What was his job? And all of this. Zamasu at first was the North Sky for the Universe 10. Or even easier explained, he had the same job as our King Kai does. But due to him being very intelligent and a protege when it comes to fighting, Gowasu, who was the Supreme Kai for the Universe 10, took him as his apprentice, with the idea that Zamasu would take his spot as the Supreme Kai for the Universe 10 in the future. There is not much backstory to this, but with Zamasu's traits, his intelligence and his fighting abilities, he was said to be a great Supreme Kai. But things changed off completely the moment he was more and more exposed to what mortals do, and how they don't respect gods and actually only cause problems using the gifts that gods gave to them. Of course, this is all according to him. With time passing, Zamasu's hatred towards humans was growing more and more. But it was only when Goku's, Whis, and Beerus's visit who put Zamasu over the edge and made everything clear for him. Learning that Goku went against a god and then later on possessed god power, that was unacceptable from his point of view. Gods have failed, and it was time for him to do something and put an end to this. Seeing Goku's skills on God Tube alongside Gowasu made him more and more interested in the Saiyan's abilities. And while enjoying the God Tube with Gowasu, he learns about something called Super Dragon Balls, who grant any wish that you possibly might have. They were so powerful that even the gods of destructions were fighting for them. They are really worth it to take a look at. To put a stamp to everything, he goes to Zuno, the guy who has knowledge about everything in every single universe. His mind was set. Despite being a fighting protege, we all know that Supreme Kais are not supposed to be the strongest fighters. Zamasu possessed a lot of strength, but compared to Goku, he was nothing. That's where his grand plan began. Use the Super Dragon Balls to switch bodies with Son Goku, and start to fix every mistake done from gods. It was a beautiful plan in his eyes. Possessing Goku's body was going to put him beyond the limits. And this is where things get a little bit tricky, because all of us saw God of Destruction Beerus itself destroy Zamasu in one of the most epic moments in Dragon Ball Super history, I might say. His Hakai moment was something that I watched over and over and over again for so many times. But how come there was a Goku Black, or better said, there was a Zamasu who took Goku's body? Well, with some Beerus miscalculations actually turned out to be the end of them, or better said, the end of Beerus, and which just wasn't functional anymore, because without a God of Destruction, he doesn't work. At least in one of the timelines. The moment with rewinded time, a new timeline was created. So there is the truth behind Zamasu being dead, but the one that killed Gowasu and we all saw was still alive. Zamasu killed Gowasu, became the Supreme Kai and acquired the rights for the Time Ring, which ended up saving him despite his past self being destroyed by a god. Somehow said that Time Ring was a shield that protected him. The timeline our heroes are was protected, or our timeline, however you want to say it. But the new one created would be the timeline in which Zamasu would carry on with his plan. He uses the Super Dragon Balls to switch bodies with Goku, and goes in a little killing spree, killing also Goku's wife in Chi-Chi and his son Goten. But being a Supreme Kai, he is not allowed to destroy. That was a job for a God of Destruction. Then it was time for him to come with another plan. And yeah, there is an option. The future Trunks timeline didn't have a God of Destruction because Supreme Kai was killed by Dabura. And as it was explained, when the Supreme Kai dies, the God of Destruction dies alongside him. And with no God of Destruction, there is no Whis. So it was just time for Goku Black or Zamasu. Well, Goku Black was a name given by Future Bulma, so we are going to stick with it when we talk about this Zamasu. It was time for Goku Black to carry on with his plan. He uses the Time Ring and proceeds to go to Universe 10 and kill Gowasu. The Zamasu from that timeline had hatred towards the humans, but wasn't quite the same as Goku's Black one. But still, he felt his own presence, I'm sorry about that, and immediately they joined force for so-called their utopia. Their plan starts with gathering the Super Dragon Balls and give immortality to future Zamasu. Probably because future Zamasu wasn't as strong as the plan required. He didn't have Goku's body since Goku has been dead for many years through hard virus, as we know. The best choice to all of this was immortality. A Zamasu with Goku's body and unlimited potential, and the other one is immortal. You truly could sense the fear on what this duo was capable of doing. Using the Time Ring, they went ahead a year and used the Super Dragon Balls again, and the wish this time was different. Every Dragon Ball in the multiverse to be destroyed, so they couldn't be used against them. Knowing that and having that relief, they went on a killing spree on Supreme Kais from every universe, and therefore every God of Destruction was gone alongside them. Then they went and destroyed planets after planets, until they reached planet Earth. In like a year, most of the humanity was gone and they were taking it slow there. And there's a reason why. Future Trunks stated that he fought Black a couple of times and Black was keeping him alive for a reason. Future Trunks was strong and the Saiyan's body in Black was reacting to that. He was excited and he was getting more and more control. Controlling Goku's body was almost impossible thing. He wasn't using it to its full potential, and we all know it's very hard to do. Captain Ginyu? Yeah, he could be the best example. Goku Black wasn't able to tap into Goku's power. That's why he could barely keep up with Goku when he first meets him. But not too long after, he is able to beat 2 Super Saiyan Blues without too many problems. Fight after fight, Zamasu in Goku's body was able to realize how the Saiyan powers worked and integrated himself with it. With the God Key already being there, he was able to tap into the Super Saiyan form. Instead of the blue energy that we normally see see from it, this time it was a color that was far more sinister when you look at it. Super Saiyan Rose is born. That name came right from him. He came up with the name after hearing the way how Saiyans name their forms. For example, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, whatever. Being in control of Goku's body now, linking himself with it, getting Zenkai boosts from every fight, Goku Black became unstoppable force. This body was a gift from gods that the humans did not deserve. Goku Black had a weakness too, which led them to lose the battle. He might have been inside Goku's body, but not everything from Goku was erased. His cockiness and hunger to fight and get stronger and stronger was still there. It came out to be such a huge mistake from Zamasu. As you all know, Goku and Vegeta were both outclassed and outmatched twice by Goku Black. They managed to escape, but it was time for them to travel once more, this time with a plan. They planned to begin their fight by sealing Zamasu using the Mafuba. Despite not being their strongest enemy, he was still pain on the ass for them. Being immortal left them no choice but to come up with that. With Zamasu sealed, taking care of Goku Black was going to be a much easier choice. They could team up and gang against him, or even fight him one against one without bothering if someone is going to attack them. And that is where Goku's Black miscalculation was. Because of his cockiness and Saiyan cells still being inside him, he decided to destroy the Dragon Balls without wishing for immortality. And if he could get that strong, for sure the Saiyans would have been able to exploit and reach that level of power and use it even more effectively than him, being on his original body. Goku Black was outclassed in every aspect by Vegeta, who gave every Dragon Ball fan a real joy. The end of Goku Black as a character himself ended with him being fused with immortal Zamasu to create so-called fusion Zamasu. But what really did put Goku Black on a different scale for me compared to the other Dragon Ball villains? Well, his way of talking, the words he used, and that no one but him can be right, really did get under my skin. Episode after episode, I was just waiting for Goku, Vegeta, or even Trunks just to go there and beat him. It just wasn't important for me who was the protagonist of that arc, who was going to beat him. It didn't matter to me. Even Yajirobe could do it for me at that part. Not really, but still. I just wanted someone to really put him on his place. And one thing is that we got to see his development from a naive guy who was eager to learn, turning into this evil guy who had no mercy upon anyone. You can clearly see how epic of a character Goku Black was. And if you go now and rewatch the whole arc, you are definitely going to enjoy it far more than you did back then. Just go ahead and do it. Take my suggestion, guys, because it is worth it. I enjoyed every little bit of it, and I've seen this arc 3 times up until now. I just can't get enough. Well done to Toei for that. Guys, I know this might have been a really long ass video, and probably most of these things said on this video were already known by you, but if you made it to the end, thanks for watching, and make sure to punch that like button. Comment what do you think of this arc, and which arc is your favorite Dragon Ball arc. And also subscribe to the channel with notifications enabled for more content. Have a great time, guys.